Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Solution Sunday. I am Lisa Warner. I am your host, and I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing. Today, let's talk about the soul. The show is called Solution Sunday because the soul is the solution. So what do we mean by that? Let's talk today. Let's have a real conversation. So if you are watching on live on Facebook, drop a line, drop a comment in, let me know that you're here. So the soul. What is that? We all know about that we're body, mind, and soul. So, but what is the soul? The soul is the core of you. The soul is your light. We are beings of light. We are not physical beings. We are light beings. We are literally made of light. If you put any cell in the body under an electron microscope, you get down to all the little tiny particles. It turns out it's all light. Everything is light. So we are beings of light. But when we come into these physical bodies, we forget that. And we start thinking that we're physical. And when we start thinking that we are physical, it's very easy to start turning down our light, just like a dimmer switch on a light. Good morning, Brenda. I'm glad you're here this morning. Thanks for hopping on. So when we live on this crazy planet, there are all kinds of rules and regulations. The should, the shouldn't, the have to, the don't, the won't, the can't, the never, the always. All kinds of rules. Diane, light being starseed at your service. Awesome. Good morning, good morning. So when we come into these physical incarnations and we have all of these rules of society that have been set up about what we can do and what we can't do and what we should do and what we shouldn't do, the truth of the matter is that we are unlimited beings. And we are made of unconditional love. Unconditional. Okay, the idea, good morning, beautiful Tanya. Nice to see you this morning. Thanks for hopping on. We all know the idea that God is love. Well, the unconditional love that is source is what we are all made of. The light of the world is unconditional love. But we are not loved unconditionally on this planet. There are all kinds of conditions placed upon us. And when we try to live by these conditions, we start to turn down our light. You have to do this. You can't do that. Why did you do this? You should never do that. All of these conditions. Every time we try to shine our light and our light shines in a direction that somebody else doesn't like or doesn't approve of, we get shut down. We get knocked upside the head by life. Oh, why did we do that? I shouldn't have done that. Oh, and we start to feel guilty and ashamed and scared. And all of those things start turning down our light. Our light begins to dim. Good morning, Michelle. Thanks for hopping on. When we dim our light, our energy stops flowing. When energy isn't flowing, it gets backed up. When energy gets backed up in our bodies, when we stop moving, when we are frozen in fear or doubt, not knowing what to do, when we feel trapped, when we feel anxious, when we feel afraid, when we feel like we screwed up and we made a big mistake, all of these things start shutting down the flow of life force energy. We turn our dimmer switch down, and then our light is not shining bright anymore. And when the light of our soul is not shining bright, dis-ease happens. When we're not shining at our fullest, we don't feel our best. And when we don't feel our best, we start to decline. We start to lose life force energy. And as our life force energy is being drained from us, our physical bodies show those symptoms. So the symptoms that show up in our bodies are in direct response to where we have shut off the flow of our life force energy. If we're worried about dying or death, our lungs will show that. If we feel like we just don't get it, there's something wrong with me, I don't know what's wrong with me, overall self-devaluation, that'll show up in our bones and joints. This is scientifically proven that our thought patterns literally dictate what happens in our physical bodies. So if there is something going on in your physical body, if you have some symptom, some condition, something that they have called a disease, it's not the fault of your body. There's nothing wrong with the body. Your body is simply showing you where you have turned down your light, where you have stopped the flow of energy, where you have blocked your ability to shine your light. We are multifaceted, multidimensional beings. We can have our light shining bright in one area and turned way down in another area. So when you have your light turned right up and shining bright and brilliant, you feel good. But when your light is turned down and you're not shining bright and you're in the dark, you don't feel good. This is literally as simple as our physical bodies are. They're simply reflecting the state of our light. If our light is bright and shining and we have unlimited ourselves, when we don't have the mental blocks of carrying the weight of I have to, I should, I'm not doing it right, what's wrong with me, I'm afraid, all of those mental blocks that we have, those thought patterns that are of the dark rather than of the light, those thought patterns are directly influencing our health. They are directly influencing our state of being. So let's look at the soul for a moment. The soul, the non-physical part of us, who we actually are. The soul is non-physical. It is pure consciousness. So who we actually are, we have a light body. We don't see it with our eyes. It's an energetic configuration that is who we are. The chakra system, the meridian system, the layers of the light body, the mental body, the emotional body, the causal body, the Christ body. There are all kinds of layers of us that we don't pay any attention to for the most part. When was the last time you paid attention to your chakras? Some people never pay attention to their chakras at all. And it's not a problem. It's not an admonishment in any way. It's just there are parts of us that we never even notice. And just because we never notice those parts doesn't mean that they don't exist. Just because we can't see our chakras with our eyes doesn't mean that they're not there. They've long been proven to be there. We can measure them with instruments now. Our auric field, we can see through Kirlian photography the colors of your aura. We don't see these things with our physical eyes, but they're still there. They're part of who we are. The soul is housed around the physical body. Our body is inside us. We think that we live inside our bodies. Nuh-uh. Our bodies are inside us. We are unlimited beings. The soul is completely, totally unlimited. The soul is free to be anywhere in the universe at any time. We are free to be anywhere in the universe at any moment, simply by placing our attention there. We seem to believe that if our physical body doesn't go with us somewhere, that we just went in our mind and it wasn't real. That didn't really happen. That was just our imagination. Our imagination is how we see in the non-physical realms. Our imagination is completely and totally free. Our imagination is part of our soul, the non-physical part of us. And what we place our attention on is what we end up seeing in our life. We end up experiencing what we focus on. So if we're focused on, I'm not okay, there's something wrong with me, that becomes our experience. And it's not a fun experience, believe me. When I believed that I was being attacked by cancer, it was not a fun experience. Every day, waking up, terrified of this thing that was attacking my body. It was a living nightmare. And my body kept getting worse and worse and worse. More and more pain, more and more symptoms, more and more fear. My life was living out exactly what I was placing my attention on. And I knew that in order to set myself free, I had to be able to see something different. I had to be able to move my attention from the fear of this thing that was appearing to attack me. If I was going to heal myself, I needed to be able to see the well-being. I needed to be able to see my health. And the only way I could see my health was to envision it, to imagine it, see it with the third eye. I had to see it inside on the view screen first. I had to imagine it. I had to image it on my internal view screen. We all have a view screen, whether we know it or not, whether we're aware of it or not. If I call your attention to an elephant, doesn't a scene of like an African safari scene, like an elephant in the wild, maybe a cartoon elephant, Dumbo, or a big pink cartoon elephant. Call your attention to that. Did you not notice an image of an elephant? Like, that's the internal view screen. So for healing, I had to envision, I had to see the vision inside of what it is that I wanted. Because I was super busy looking at what I didn't want. I was super busy looking at the exact thing that I did not want. Right? Oh my God, what's wrong with my body? What's wrong with my body? This thing, cancer is attacking me, cancer is attacking me. Who the hell wants that? None of us do. But if we focus on it, that's exactly what shows up in our life. Because we experience what we focus on. So in order to heal ourselves, we have to actually see the well-being. We have to not just hope for it, not just think that maybe it can happen, not just, pray to God or Santa Claus or the tooth fairy, like, fix me. No, we have to do it ourselves, and we have to see it inside. And how do we see it? When our bodies are showing these symptoms, when we think and believe that we're being attacked by some disease, or that we see that there's something wrong with us, how do we shift our vision? How do we start seeing what we actually want rather than what we think we're looking at? Because if we keep focusing our attention on what's wrong with me, we're going to just get more and more and more of the exact thing that we don't want. So in order to shift our focus and see the well-being that we all desire, in order to see the freedom, the ease, the peace, the harmony, the balance, the wealth, the health, the love, whatever it is we're looking for, we have to find it inside. We have to see it. We have to notice it. It's not that we have to find it inside. It's not like we have to go looking for any of it. It's already right here. All we have to do is place our attention on it. So what do I mean? Good morning, Donna. Thanks for hopping on. Good to see you this morning. So when we notice that we are not human, we are not mortal beings, we are the soul. The soul, created by the Creator, in the image of the Creator. Everything that the Creator has, we each have. The light that has been formed into each and every one of us. We are each pure light that has taken on a form, a beingness, an individuality, not a separateness, but a unique form that is each one of us. Each and every one of us is uniquely formed from light. And every soul that has ever been created has been created from the same light. Every soul that has ever been created is a divine, sovereign being of light, given free rein to wander the universes, to go have experience upon experience upon experience. And all of the experiences, there are not good experiences and bad experiences. There are just simply experiences. As humans, we place the labels of good and bad, right and wrong on our experiences, on each other, on our beliefs. But the truth is, all of those are just labels. And they actually have no value at all, especially the labels that are negative. All they do is detract from our lives and they make us ill because those labels of bad and wrong and you should never have done that and you're a terrible person, they're horrible. We don't want those labels. We don't want to wear them. So it's time to take them off. And when we realize that we are the soul, we are angelic beings. When was the last time you noticed your wings? Your wings are actually real. Just because we can't see them with our eyes does not mean that we do not possess wings. Just like we possess chakras, we possess a light body, we have meridians. There are all kinds of things that are measurable that we can't see with our eyes. And just because we cannot see our wings with our physical eyes, when we close our eyes and imagine, we can literally see and feel the wings at our backs. Close your eyes and notice your wings. Allow your wings to unfurl. Notice that you are actually an angel. You are a non-physical being. Angels are simply beings without bodies. They are beings of the light. Beings that are beaming their light, standing in their own light. All of the time, the angels that are depicted with wings, because the wings are what allow us to soar. The wings are what allow us to rise like the phoenix. Our wings are what allow us to soar above all of the chaos and confusion of the physical realm. The angelic being, created in divine perfection, is who we are. We are not these physical bodies. We are the angels in physical form right now. The body is actually inside us. We are such big beings that we can't possibly be contained inside a physical body. It's impossible. This is why we have an aura. This is the auric field stretches out far beyond the edges of our physical body. As you close your eyes and open your wings, notice that you and your wings are made of pure light. They're non-physical, but they're there nonetheless. Many of us can actually feel the wings on our back. There's a sensation of having the wings. Can you feel your wings? Simply notice. this is actually who you are. Perfect. A being of light, pure love. Just like all the angels in heaven, right? Heaven is not a place, it's a state of being. It is the state of being in peace, ease, harmony, love, joy, unconditional love. No judgments, no have to's, shoulds, shouldn'ts, nevers, can'ts, don't, won't, no rules. Just universal law that what we put out comes back. And the angels that are living in that state of peace and ease and joy and unconditional love, they live in heaven. And there is absolutely no reason in the world why this world, this earth, cannot be heaven. Other than the fact that most people are living in their own personal hell. The shame, the guilt, the doubt, the worry, the anxiety, the fear, the stress, the have tos, the shoulds, the can'ts, the won'ts, all of the rules that turn down the dimmer switch of our brilliance. We stop being brilliant when conditions are placed upon us, when we allow conditions to be placed upon us, and when we especially place those conditions upon ourselves. When we live as less than the brilliant, magnificent beings of light that we actually are. When we start to notice who we actually are, we can turn up our brilliance. We can start turning our light back on. We can start to radiate the love and the light that we are. When we do that, we return to balance. We start returning to peace and harmony inside. We start to own our brilliance. We start to let our light shine. We start to love ourselves unconditionally. We've been taught by the external world, by the religions, by others, that loving ourselves is narcissistic, that it's selfish, that it's egotistical. Why? If you don't love you, you're living in a nightmare. Because if you can't love yourself, you can't shine your light bright because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in your own light. And it's not about even believing. We need to get rid of that word. It's about knowing and owning your light, knowing your own brilliance. Brilliance isn't about intellectual superiority. Brilliance isn't about, intellectually, your intellectual ability. Your brilliance is your light. It's the light of your soul. Each and every one of us has a soul song. Things that we love. Things that light us up from the inside. For some people, it's playing music or singing songs. For others, it's writing or poetry. Others, it may be athleticism. Others, it may be walking in the woods, sitting in nature, being a grandma or grandpa, being a mom. Like, what is it that lights you up? That's your soul song. Are you singing your soul song? Are you allowing your light to shine? If you're not, then you're living less than who you can be and who you actually are. And when we're living at a less than rate, our bodies start to break down because there's so much resistance. Feel the resistance in the heaviness, in fear, in doubt, in guilt, in shame. Feel the heaviness of those. Those energies weigh us down. They make our physical bodies sluggish. They make our physical bodies heavy. They make our physical bodies weak. And it's our physical body is simply reflecting what's going on in our mental and emotional realms, in our mental and emotional bodies. Those bodies that we have, a mental body and an emotional body, surround the physical body. What's going on in them is directly impacting how the physical body shows up. So when the physical body shows up with symptoms, those symptoms directly match what's going on in the mental and emotional bodies. A direct correlation. And when we see the symptoms in the physical body, we can see the exact area of our life where we have turned down our dimmer switch, when we have shut off our light, when we have stopped the flow of energy through guilt or shame or blame, or feeling like we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. What physical symptoms are showing up in your body? Being overweight has nothing to do with the foods that we eat for the most part. I mean, unless you're filling up your body with just toxic stuff that's not even actual food, that's slowing your body down. But as long as you are eating just a normal diet, food has nothing to do with weight. The physical body gets bigger and bigger and bigger when we start feeling uncomfortable in our own skin. Our skin then starts to feel uncomfortable on us. That's actually the root cause of obesity, is being uncomfortable in your own skin. So how do you fix that? Start to realize that you are not your skin. Start to realize that you are the grand angelic being of light. Start getting comfortable with who you actually are. When you get comfortable with who you actually are, the one with the wings, when you start to own your brilliance, when you start to realize who you actually are, everything changes. When you start to realize who you actually are, you start to realize all of the thought patterns that have told you that you are not brilliant, that you are not a divine being of light. All of the thought patterns that have limited you and make you think that you are not infinite and unlimited. When you start to own your angel wings, and you start to realize who you actually are, all of the thought patterns start to make sense. Your life starts to make sense because you start to see that every single thing that you have been thinking and believing has shown up in your life in some form or another. So when our lives aren't working the way we want them to, when our bodies aren't working the way we want them to, it's not about trying to fix the body or fix the situation. It's about looking and seeing what thought patterns, what do I think? What am I thinking that is creating this? What do I currently believe that is limiting me? Do I believe that I am unworthy and that's why I don't have any money? Do I believe that I'm being attacked by a disease and that's why my body's not functioning properly? Do I believe that I have to do something simply because somebody else is telling me that I have to? Where is it that you are limiting yourself? What do you believe that is actually not true? What do you believe that is causing the physical circumstances right now? Because every single time, bar none, it is the belief that is generating the circumstance. But we go around trying to fix the circumstances. We got to try to fix the body. There's got to be a pill for this. There's got to be something to fix this. I got to be able to get a better job, or there must be some other way that I can make more money. There must be some way that I can walk around this planet without having to be scared. Yeah, you don't have to walk around being scared. We don't have to walk around the planet trying to fix and change our bodies. We do have to start fixing and changing what we're focused on, what we're believing, all of the limiting beliefs. Because when we clear those out, our health returns, our wealth returns, our freedom, our ease, our joy return. So let's have this experience of being the soul that we are. Let's start noticing us as the soul, not as the physical body, not as the limited human, but as the soul. Let's notice who we actually are. So let's just close our eyes. Hang on one sec. Here's a question before we start. Do my beliefs also impact, this is from Kim, do my beliefs also impact how things show up in my life related to what's happening with my children or other family members, or only related to my personal being? Well, your children and your family members, this is a great question, because the answer is yes, your beliefs impact how everything and how everyone shows up in our lives, because everything and every person are reflections of us. So our families reflect back to us our own beliefs. So that's a great question. Hopefully I answered that. Like if that makes sense. If you have more on that, just pop it in the chat there. I'll be happy to go deeper into that if we want. But for right now, let's just close our eyes again. Let's just take a couple of nice deep breaths. And just simply place your attention on the core of you. Notice your angel wings. This makes it much easier to see yourself. Notice your wings. How big are they? What color are they? Simply notice. Now allow them to get even bigger. Spread your wings, grow them. Allow yourself to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Pure light. You are pure light. You can be any size at all. As the angel you are. Notice that you, as the angel, are bigger than your physical body. Notice that you are bigger than the room that your physical body is sitting in. Allow yourself to get bigger than the building that you're in. Allow yourself to get bigger and bigger and bigger until you realize that you're looking back at the earth and that the earth is actually inside you. Get bigger and bigger and bigger. Watch as the earth is getting smaller and smaller and smaller as you are spreading your wings, getting larger and larger, allowing your light to amplify, getting bigger. Get bigger and bigger until the entire Milky Way galaxy is inside you. Keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger until this entire universe is inside you. Getting bigger and bigger and bigger until all universes are inside you. All of physical creation is inside you. You are bigger than all of creation. Everything that exists inside you. You are unconditional love. You are the creator. You are creating your experience. You get to create any experience you want. You get to draw forth love, peace, ease, joy. You can paint with any color energy you desire. You are the one who is painting the canvas of your life. You are using energy to paint the canvas of your life. What color energies are you using? Are you using excitement and enthusiasm, curiosity, joy? Or are you using fear, doubt, guilt, shame, anxiety? If you're experiencing situations in your life that cause you to feel negative feelings, It's only because you happen to be painting with those energies, which means that you have beliefs that are generating those energies. The belief in diseases are attacking our bodies. It generates a lot of fear. It generates a lot of guilt, for having allowed ourselves to catch these diseases. Fear, am I going to live through this disease? They told me that I can't live through this disease. Are you going to believe them? Why? You're an infinite being. You are bigger than all universes combined. You are all powerful. You are so powerful that the entire universe rearranges itself to match your commands. Your commands are your beliefs. Your commands are the things that you're placing your attention on. I'm not okay. And the universe matches. It gives you the opportunity to experience that belief. It gives you the experience to have a disease, or to have a loved one reject you, or to have your check bounce, like whatever it is that will give you the experience of I'm not okay, in whatever iteration you're thinking that. We have to change how we look at ourselves, because we're not these physical bodies. And there's nothing wrong with who we are as the divine being of light. In order to heal our bodies and our lives, we have to remember who we are. There is nothing more important than that you remember who you are. Because when you own your angel wings, when you stand in your own light, the light of your divine perfection, when you shine your light, the entire universe will rearrange itself to match your light. And when we are each standing in our own light, being the angelic beings that we are, we realize there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fight. There is nothing to be afraid of. There is nothing to have to battle. We realize when we're standing in our own light that we can generate heaven on earth right now. When we're standing in our own light, we can consciously use the light we are. We can use our own light to consciously flow that light through the physical vessel that is our body. And we can fill our bodies with that light. And that light is stronger than any pill on the planet. That light is far stronger than any medical protocol. Your light can not only heal your body, it can change the world. Imagine a world where everyone was wearing their wings, where everyone had their wings unfurled, where everyone was allowed to shine their light. Because we could each see the light in each other. When a newborn baby pops out, we see the light. We see the unconditional love. We feel the unconditional love. That's the light we are. In a world where most people have their angel wings shut tight, we can't fly with our wings shut tight. We can't fly when our light has been dimmed. We can't fly while we're being defeated, while we're victims. We're not victims. We are grand beings of light. There is nothing and no one on this planet or any other planet that has any power over us unless we allow them to. There is no microorganism that has any power over anyone unless we believe that it does. And the word lie is lies right in the middle of that word, B-E-L-I-E-F. A belief that we're in danger, a belief that we're being attacked, a belief that we have a killer disease. Not true. But it will play out exactly like that in our lives as long as we're embodying that belief. So are you ready to embody who you truly are, rather than embodying all of these beliefs that say that we're not okay? All of these beliefs that say that there's something wrong with us, something wrong with our bodies, something wrong with our finances, something wrong with our relationships. Are you ready to let go of all of the stuff that's wrong in our lives? Are you ready to stand in your own magnificence? Are you ready to be magnificent once again? You always have been magnificent. You can't be not magnificent. But you can believe that you're not. You can believe that there's something wrong with you. But the fact of the matter is, there is nothing wrong with any of us. And when we start to recognize who we actually are, that changes everything. Your light changes everything. Are you ready to shine your light? Good morning, Kinsey. Thanks for hopping on. Are you ready to shine your light so bright that your body heals itself, that the world around you heals itself, that your finances heal themselves? Because that's what your light will do. Your life right now is a direct reflection of your light. How brightly are you shining? If you are not shining as bright as you would like to be shining, I'm offering a soul embodiment masterclass starting in a couple of weeks in September of 2021. And I will be ongoing. So if you're watching this a year from now, just reach out to me and see what's going on. Okay. However, for all of you that are ready to heal yourself fully and finally by being who you truly are, owning your angel wings, so you can be the brilliant, magnificent being of light you truly are. Reach out. Let's get you going in this masterclass. I'm going to run the masterclass from September through December so that you have 3 full months to flip your focus so you can start to be who you truly are. We're going to focus on the soul of you, the grand angelic being that you are, and remind you all the time of who you are until you can see who you are, so you can be all of who you are. And when you can be your own brilliance, your light will change the entire world. It's only going to take a small number of us to fully spread our wings and shine our light to change the entire world. Are you ready to change the world? Are you ready to change your world? Because when you change your world changes the rest of the world. So the soul embodiment masterclass experience is designed to help you experience your full self. If you're ready, reach out, shoot me an email, lisa@connectingyoutoyou.com, spelled out in full, YOUTOYOU, connectingyoutoyou.com, lisa@connectingyoutoyou.com. Shoot me an email and let's have a conversation so I can tell you what's going on, see where you're at, and let's get you rolling so you can see who you truly are, so you can heal yourself once and for all. And once you do that, you will never have to worry about a physical disease ever again. And you can keep yourself healthy, wealthy, wise, and happy for the rest of your life. You ready to be the grand angelic being that you are? Come with me. It's going to be amazing. All right. Thank you. Carol, Delbert, thank you both. Thanks for putting the message out. Most all of us need to consider some necessary changes to let our true light shine. Absolutely. Good insight, Dad. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I hope this has been helpful to you. And please feel free to reach out. You can find me at connectingyoutoyou.com, and in Facebook, you can find me through my group, Soul Sourced Healing. Love to have you join. So thank you all. I am Lisa Warner. I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing. And I show you how to heal anything that ails you by becoming the truth of who you are, so you can shine your light bright once more. All right. Thanks, everyone. Until next week, shine bright. Create for yourselves a brilliant week. Bye for now.